We on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, in 1966, we were in a band called the Spiders, local band. We were all in high school still. And we played the local place called the VIP Club. Every band played the Beatles, or some bands played Rolling Stones. We were the Yardbirds band. We played all Yardbird songs. So, being the house band, big bands would come in from England, right? So we're going to open for the Yardbirds, the real Yardbirds, with Jeff Beck and Jimmy Page, both in the band. And, of course, we do all their songs. So we get on stage, and there's 1,000 people there, and we do every one of their songs. And they're back there, and they're giving us the thumbs up. Yeah, that's great. They get on stage and blow us off the stage. I mean, we were good. They were the Yardbirds, and it was a whole different thing. Guitar, everybody says, who's the best guitar player? This is what cinched it for me. Jeff Beck, they're playing the song. He holds his guitar like this, and it's feeding back. And he's talking to somebody. He's like 19 years old. And while he's talking, he's dropping the guitar and doing triplets.
Oh my goodness.
Perfect triplets, and catches it right on the last note where it's feeding back. And we went, what? That's impossible. You know, that was 1966. So how good is Jeff Beck now? You know, when you start thinking about if he was that good then and he only got better, that's why when people say, who's the best guitar player, I go, Jeff Beck. He is probably technically the best player. Eric Clapton's a great blues player. Jimmy Page is a great rock player. Jeff Beck is a great guitar player. And that's you know, when you could see guys do that, I mean, that was just insane. Nobody does stuff like that. He was throwing spoons at his guitar. And his guitar looked like it had been dragged behind the bus. It was just big chunks out of it, and it sounded so good. It was ridiculous. So, if anybody asks you, go see, if you get a chance to see Jeff Beck, Jeff Beck's the guy. You hear guys playing as many notes as they can. You know, Eddie Van Halen's great. He plays all those great notes, and Steve Vai can play all those notes. Probably the best guy for playing what I call the best economical guitar player is George Harrison. George Harrison never played a note that didn't belong. And as soon as he got done, he got out. He was like, out. Most guitar players noodle. They're really nervous. They just noodle, you know, while they're playing. And it fills in all those spaces that need to be there. So when you get a guy like a George Harrison, he'll play just that one phrase and then get out. And that's what made the Beatles music so good. Nothing was ever in the way of anything else. The vocal was here. When the vocal was gone, the guitar came in. When the guitar, now if you listen to other bands, the vocal's going, the guitar's going, the bass is going, the drums are going, and you're going, why doesn't that sound like the Beatles? Well, because everything's working against each other, you know. So when you listen to a Beatles song, it's so perfectly easy to remember because nothing's in the way. The melody's there, the guitar's there, and it's done. So you remember the lyrics like easily. Nothing's fighting against each other. So George Harrison, great. A lot of people don't think of him as being like in the same class as Clapton, or he was certainly in the same class.